Welcome back. In the background, you'll see some random footage of me doing an invasion, and you may notice that I get a little distracted, and that's because the Kavat lady really got my interest. Whoever, the team that made her, usually I'm killing her, but because it's an invasion, she's on my side. And I really found her animations and what she was saying to be hilarious. So I started role-playing that I was protecting her, and in exchange for protecting her, she was going to tell me all the information that I don't know about the Lotus. So anyway, what I'd like to talk about today is the changes that are coming to the Daily Tribute system. And I don't want to talk about whether they should be or not, because it's obviously progressing, and I did a video about that already. What I want to talk about are improvements that I hope makes it in when the new change is coming. So through the magic of video editing, I am going to show you what Steve posted as a mock-up of how the Daily Tribute system is progressing. And it looks really, really good. It's a big difference from what is currently in the game now. With the new system, which you can see on the screen, you can see your Warframe over there, and that helps match the new login screens that we have. And you can see your progress at the top, where you are versus where the next reward is coming, which is great. Now you see where the weapons are? That's new. And the character Darvo is new. None of that is on the current screen. So this is a really nice improvement because it actually blends other elements from the game, and Darvo is someone I never see. So it's really good that the lore is being injected more into the game. I really feel that that's a positive change. Now I'm going to show you a mock-up of what I did on what I would change it, and it's just information, adding information for to make life easier. Okay, and again, I'm not a graphics designer, so this is like a hot mess, but it'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So as you can see on my little mock-up here, there are several icons and stats and whatnot, so let's talk about it. When you make a decision, you want to make the best one for whatever goal it is that you have. So as far as weapons are concerned, there's several things that I think you'd want to know when you're making the decision on which weapon to pick. One would be, how good is the weapon? So that's why I would add stats somehow to that screen, and I would make them transparent so that they blend in a little bit better. But when you mouse over a weapon or whatever item it is, have the stats of the item show there so that you can compare what weapon is the best choice, particularly for new players, because they have no idea. Now, the reason why I feel that this is important is because in some games, you can sidestep the Daily Tribute altogether and get in the game. Elder Scrolls Online is a good example of that. They will present you with a screen that shows you that you have a daily reward to claim, but you can close that screen and go play and do what you want, collect it on another character or whatever. Currently, you can't do that in Warframe. You're stuck at that screen. So you'd have to Alt-Tab out or something. It's inconvenient to look up information when you're stuck. You can't get in the game. And I think that showing the stats will help people make a better informed decision. So that's the first change that I'd make, and you see it on the screen in the right-hand corner, where Darvo is. But it doesn't have to be there. It can be anywhere. I don't care where you put it. Just put it somewhere on the screen. Okay. The second thing that I'd want to know is, do I own the weapon already? So This one is a lot more subtle. In game, when you don't own something, it's grayed out. And then the others have a color contrast so that you can tell the ones that you own and the ones that you don't. So I tried to duplicate that in this, but because the background is kind of dark anyway, and the Bratton is light, and these are all grayish weapons, you're not seeing it. But I grayed out the Bratton, and you can tell that the Bratton has gray text and the other has like a gold color. But I was thinking something like that. I was just thinking about gray because the login screen colors, like the design behind the Warframe and the Daily Tribute colors, can change based on what the player wants because there's different themes available, some free, some for platinum. So being grayed out versus the other weapons being high color, just like in the game, you'd be able to tell which weapons you have and which ones you own and which ones you don't. The next thing that I'd like to know is if I have it maxed level or not. Because I could own it, sold it for some reason, and not max leveled it. You see what I'm saying? So like, for example, in my case, using the example here, personally, I own the Cernos, but I haven't max leveled it. I max leveled the Boltor, but I don't still own it. I sold it, but I max leveled it. So it doesn't need to be gray. And once you max level something, if you sell it, obviously you don't want it. You see what I'm saying? And then the Bratton Prime, I don't own, which is why it's gray. So I think just that subtle change would make a difference. The other thing that I would do is I would add an icon to show whether or not it's a reward that's exclusive for login. Meaning that if I don't pick it up now, I'm never going to get it anywhere else. And that's where on the Bratton Prime in the left-hand corner, I just pick the fire out of a weapon to signify that. I don't know what you would use to signify that. But one of the things that I noticed people saying about the Zenny is that they didn't know that it was an exclusive weapon. And they sold it because they didn't like it or whatever. But they would not have if they knew that they couldn't get it in another way. So in this particular instance, I don't own the Bratton Prime. But even if it was, like a jank weapon, I'd probably keep it simply because you can't get it anywhere else. So these are 4 things that I think that could be added visually to help players make an informed decision about the items that they're choosing. Having the stats there so that you can compare it, having a visual cue to let you know whether you own the weapon or not, having a visual cue to let you know if you own it and if you have owned it and max leveled it, which is different from owning it and not max leveling it, or you got rid of it for some reason. Because there is a certain point in your career in Warframe where all of those need to have a sign that you've max leveled it. You see what I'm saying? And then also knowing whether or not it's exclusive, okay, to login. Like if you don't get it now, you're jacked. Now there's one other thing, a 5th thing that I would add, and that is the ability to have boosts not activate upon receiving it. And what I mean by this is when you log in, you have the option, not the option, sometimes, the RNG gods are blessing you with a booster for affinity or resources or credits, something like that. And the minute you claim it, it automatically starts counting down. And I know from my personal experience, there are times when I logged into, put a forma on to build, or I want keys to go in the derelict, and one is done, an hour is up, and I need to make another one. Something like that. And I log in after the daily reward system, has kicked in, and I get a booster. And it's like, yay, because I really wasn't going to play right then. And I end up feeling forced to play because I don't want the booster to go to waste, because it's just a couple hours. You see what I'm saying? So it would be nice if they had a system similar to Guild Wars 2, where, and I showed this in a video, I have these tomes of knowledge, I have these experience boosts, but they allow you to accumulate them so that I can use them on my time. And I think there needs to be a shift to that. I've earned it. I logged in, I got it legit. I shouldn't feel punished for getting something good. And there's no way that the game can know what my schedule is. And there's times when you have to log in real quick, and you want to, you don't have to. But I think that it would be a quality of life change to allow a player to accumulate boosts so that they can use them when they want to. I don't see why that would break the economy or anything like that, because I don't think those things are tradable. Don't make them tradable. But does it really make a difference? It shouldn't if I accumulate 10 2-hour boosts versus using them one at a time. You see what I mean? Maybe I want to, accumulate them so that I have that nice big number of 30 days, so I look cool, or something like that. Or maybe I have a patch of time where I know I'm going to be in the game for 4 hours, so I'd use 2 of them. You see what I'm saying? So I think that those 5 things would really benefit the player, and I'm sure there's more, and I'm just not thinking of them. So if you have suggestions, I think this is the time to say them. And I don't think these are huge, because all of these systems, minus the exclusive reward thing, are already in the game already. So it's just moving it over to the system. So if you have ideas and suggestions, I know you were thinking I'm about to say, let me know in the comments. No. I don't work for DE. Don't tell me. I mean, I'd love for you to share them with me. But tell Steve, tell Rebecca, tell Megan, tell somebody that actually has the power to tell the right people so that it can get done. Make a post on the forums or something. Because, it's all about everybody having fun with something that they enjoy and they're passionate about. And Warframe is one of those games where, they do good. They really do good, considering the very sad news that, and in succession, sad news of what's been going on in the gaming industry lately. It's good to be reminded that there's companies like DE that are really, really trying to get it right. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.